evening, everybody. Welcome to Alexandra Park in Auckland for coverage of the 1986 Max Harvey Auckland Cup. And what a race it promises to be. We've got 7 places from the south, we've got 6 from the north, and we've got 1 who's come all the way from Australia to contest the richest race in New Zealand racing history. $250,000 up for grabs. Well, it's been a very big night for Canterbury this weekend, and they can make it 2 in a row in the space of 20 minutes, because their star tonight is Royden Glen, and he looks poised to add the Auckland Cup to last year's effort when he won it so impressively. But earlier tonight we saw a parade of a very, very popular mare, the horse that dragged them in their thousands to Alexandra Park. Here she is, the bonny mare who won 2 Auckland Cups in her career. Her name, Delightful Lady, led by her owner Dave Anderson. She's now retired on the farm that Dave operates south of Auckland, and I might say she looks an absolute picture. The beautiful black coat, the shiny coat that she had, and she led out the Auckland Cup field tonight prior to the start of this big race. What a tremendous performance it was. Well, just to bring you up to date with what she did in a racing career, let's have a look at 2 of her greatest successes, the 1980, the 1981 Auckland Cups.
Round the showground bend, 400 metres from home in the cup, and on the inside Lord Mighty tangled now on the outside by Trevera, and here she comes, Delightful Lady around the outside, in behind them Royden's gone, they're followed in by Katie's Command, they straighten up to the right home in the cup, Delightful Lady, and on the inside Lord Michael Trevera, Royden's got is looking for a spin, and further out than the Young Quinn, 150 to go, and Delightful Lady hit the lead from Lord Michael, then we have Young Quinn coming home well on the inside, Royden's got Lacana down the outside, Delightful Lady and Lord Michael, they're the 2 that are fighting it out, but Delightful Lady's got a one from Lord Michael, Sapling through home to take third. A length away on the outside of Trio, Dictatorship down on the inside is Sunseeker, a length and a quarter then to Greg Robinson, and 2 lengths away to Mr. Spyro at the rear. Mike Storman's taken the loop, the Delightful Lady, and he's gone away by 4 lengths. Lord Michael setting out after it. Paul Bird has gone there, followed then by Paul Commanded Idlemite. Bonnie's chances getting all the backwash. She's done it in. She couldn't win from there. On the outside is Jawa Boy, and further back to Trio, followed then by Sunseeker and Greg Robinson. But Delightful Lady, she's away by 8 lengths as they come round the showground bend. Chasing her is Idlemite. Further back to Paul Commanders, 2 lengths away to Lord Michael. They were followed a length and a quarter back on the outside, Jawa Boy, and down on the inside is Sapling. Homeward down in the cup, and Delightful Lady by 6 lengths at the moment as they straighten up for the run of the judge. In second berth is Idlemite, and further back to Paul Command and Lord Michael. At the 115 metres, it's Delightful Lady. She's out by 5 lengths. Idlemite trying to bridge the gap, and Lord Michael down the outside and Sapling on the inside. But Delightful Lady's got a second Auckland Cup one. She's coasting to an easy victory. Wins it by 3 lengths from Idlemite. Lord Michael is third on the inside of those to Sapling, followed by Paul Command. They were followed in by Jawa Boy, and further back to Greg Robinson.
So Delightful Lady, the star of 80 and 81, and is this going to be yet again the star of 1986? He won it last year. Fred Fletcher, will he try tactics like Mike Stormont tried in that second cup win? Well, we'll find out. This is Royden Glen. He's the hottest favourite, I think, in many years, and at the moment on the totalisator is only offering you $2 for the win and $1.30 for the place. And John May, that's fairly short.
Well, no question about it, Philip. The public thinks that he can do a Delightful Lady. Not many horses have won back-to-back Auckland Cups, and he's probably got the toughest job ahead of him to win it again tonight. This is a much stronger field than last year, but let's look at his record. He's won 22 races, run 8 seconds and 6 thirds. He's won $418,000. He's easily the best performed horse in the field. He's got the draw tonight. He's halfway out along the track, and I think if he gets an easy run in front, and that might be the problem, he should win.
Well, Murray Steele's been up with the horse all week, and he's pretty happy with his condition. He's been set for the race and obviously well tuned to go. Here's Direct Kiwi now. This is John Langdon's big chance. He'll start from the number 1 draw, a very experienced horse from the Mobile, and obviously the likely front runner.
Well, John Langdon certainly said that as far as he's concerned, he has no qualms about taking Direct Kiwi to the front from the draw. And he went a pretty good race here just a week or so ago. He ran 4th in a sprint, and he and Spanker On, who subsequently won the race, had a ding-dong battle around the early corners, and he certainly footed it with Spanker On, who's a real speedster. So Direct Kiwi, one of the long shots, but should get a good run from the draw.
Here's the Toyota New Zealand Cup winner now. This is Barana, number 4, has travelled from Peter Jones Templeton Stables. He gave Mr. and Mrs. John Murray the greatest thrill of their lives when he won the New Zealand Cup. Can he do get the second of the double and win the Max Harvey Auckland Trotting Cup?
Well, the record book says he can't. Very few horses have won the Cups double, New Zealand Cup and Auckland Cup in the same season. Barana, of course, the boil-over of the Cup. He paid more than any other horse in history when he won in November, but his subsequent racing has shown that that was no fluke. He's the winner of 19 races and just under $270,000, and didn't get much of a go last start here, but that was a sprint which doesn't really suit him, and I think from the handy barrier draw of 4, Barana just might make things tough for the favourite. Now let's have a look at the full field so that you can see where your money's going to go. Number 1 is Direct Kiwi, 2 Vance Glory, 3 Placid Victor, 4 Barana, 5 Royden Glen, the favourite, 6 Comedy Lad, 7 is Quite Famous, the Australian representative, 8 Ben, 9 Supreme Ruler, 10 Spanker On, 11 Malaz, 12 Lord Louis, 13 Armana and 14 Spry Joker.
Let's have a quick run along the dividend board. Direct Kiwi's offering 32 and 560. Vance Glory at the moment at 31 and 610. Placid Victor's at 8.30 and $2.40. Barana is at 7.60, 7.80 and $1.90. Number 5 is Royden Glen. He's hot at $2 and $1.30. 6 is Comedy Lad, is at 27 to win and 5.70 the place. 7 is Quite Famous, 7.50 and $2.30. Number 8 is Ben at 86.46 and $8.90. Number 9 is Supreme Ruler, the outsider, at 132 the place. Number 10 is Spanker On at 882.60. Number 11 is Malaz at 25 and 550. 12 Lord Louis is at 121. Number 13 is Armana at 16 and 3. And completing the field is Spry Joker, the second outsider of the field, at 100 to win and 23 the place. Here now is the Australian horse Quite Famous. He's travelled a long way to be here tonight, and it's good to see that some of the Australian trainers are bringing their horses over this way, but the attraction of the big money is obviously one of the major factors. $250,000. Jim O'Sullivan has travelled with Quite Famous, a very smart horse indeed.
Well, he certainly set the track watchers gazing at their stopwatches here on Thursday morning when he ran a half mile on this track in just a tick over 55 seconds, the fastest time anybody can remember on the Alexandra Park circuit. And a short while ago, Philip spoke to his trainer-driver, Jim O'Sullivan.
Jim O'Sullivan, if I said Village Kid was the best horse in Australia at the moment, where would you put Quite Famous?
Oh, I
Michael,
think he's the second best one
can we just move
in Australia? There's after Village Kid, there's probably about a half a dozen horses on a par, you know, and we'd be one of them.
The doubts about him must be the fact that he's travelled across from Australia, the fact also that he's going on a right-handed track. What's your feeling about that?
Oh, I shouldn't worry him. He worked extra well here the other morning, and he travelled extremely well. It only took 2.5 hours to come across, and he's done extremely well.
So he's in with a big chance?
Oh, I think so. He's drawn a little wide, but if he gets a go at him early, it would be a good chance.
And who's the hardest for him to beat, do you think?
Oh, Royden Glen, Placid Victor.
Jim O'Sullivan. Well, one of the others to contend tonight's race is Placid Victor. What a marvellous horse he's been. One of our top 3-year-old undoubtedly, and now proving to be a very, very good 4-year-old.
And those of you that recall the New Zealand Messenger Championship, our last telecast here from Alexandra Park over the Christmas period, will remember Placid Victor handed out an absolute thrashing, there's no other word for it, to a very fine field of 4-year-olds indeed. He's won 14 races, just under $190,000.
Here now is number 8 Ben, one of the experienced horses trained by Brian and Jack Hughes at Pukekohe. The driver will be Graham Reeks.
A little disappointing of recent times, but he's been placed in New Zealand Cups. He's certainly got all the ability in the world. He's drawn a little wide, if anything, but Graham Reeks knows him well, and Ben should give a pretty good account of himself.
Here's Spanker On. This is the chance for Peter Wolfenden to add yet another Auckland Cup to his credit. He's a marvellous horse and a marvellous driver, a marvellous trainer now too. Peter Wolfenden.
Well, Peter going for 7 Auckland Cups on this horse. He's won 6 already. His biggest problem will be he's got a natural front runner who's drawn the inside of the second row. And unless Direct Kiwi goes out like an absolute bullet, this horse won't get the sort of run that suits him.
Here's 9 now, Supreme Ruler, another horse struggling to find form. He's trained by Graham Harris of Morrinsville, who'll also drive him tonight.
And Supreme Ruler's close relation won an earlier race tonight, but this horse has certainly shown nothing like the form he's capable of. He's the outsider of the field and deserves to be, looks well, but would be outclassed, especially from the draw.